This is your place for all things Grand Rapids Griffins and all things Toledo Walleye. This is the Hockeytown West podcast with your hosts, Brandon Cook, Nick Harrington, and Travis Foch.
So I think I've decided that every hockey team needs to have this specific theme night going forward. You got to honor the Zamboni, dude. You have to.
Well, now I'm mad because I don't have the jersey hanging up behind me or the gravy boat down here.
Come on, dude. You're supposed to be prepared. Like, you could do a gravy boat without doing a Zamboni night, but come on, you might as well honor the Zamboni. Without the Zamboni, there is no game.
Right? No,
they should have done the full thing. Honor the drivers of the past. We can run with this for a hot minute here.
You know, in the beginning of when they come out onto the ice before they do like the intro video, they play the T-Town hockey song. So it was all the old Zambonis. Like they had the one from the sports arena with no hood on it. So you seen the chain with the snow flying everywhere. It was pretty. Yeah. It was well done.
I love it. Toledo doesn't miss on theme nights, man. Well, welcome back to the Hockeytown West podcast, your source for everything Grand Rapids Griffins and Toledo Walleye hockey. And tonight is a Toledo Walleye update. We have 2 games to talk about, but before we even jump into the games, we have a ton of news. And I'm sorry, Travis, I know you have the note in order here. I'm going to skip to the news that broke today because I feel like it's one of the biggest ones. Yeah, right. That's very true. Most of it did break today. But the biggest piece of that, Mitchell Lewandowski is back with the Toledo Walleye. Did not see this coming. What a piece to get back for this team that's already playing so well this year.
I know, it's crazy. And it's funny because so every couple of weeks I'll go through and like keep tabs on who left from last year. So like I'll go through how's Speeds doing, how's all these guys doing. I get to Louis and I see he's only played in 11 games. So then this is all yesterday, mind you. You can even ask Nick. Like I sent him a text. I was like, well, you might need to reach out to Lars on something. And then that went off on a completely different conversation of what I was expecting to go down.
As conversations with Nick do.
I seen that he had only played in 11 of the like 20 or 21 games that they'd played, and I was like, I wonder if there was anybody that was going to maybe come home, would he be the one that's considering it? Maybe just change of scenery needed, fit wasn't great. I don't know. You know, you never know why somebody wants to come home. Maybe just wanted to come home. Maybe went over and just wasn't what he thought it would be or something. I don't know.
I'm sure you'll ask.
Yeah, I mean, I'll gladly try to find out. But again, that's his personal business. So again, you kind of don't want to intrude on that. But excited for us.
Yeah, I mean, to get the guy that finished second on the team in scoring last season in the regular season back is a pretty big deal.
It's a very big deal. I would expect he's going to play Wednesday. Well, you'll hear him this Wednesday, so tonight probably.
Yeah, and I'm sure fans are excited. I mean, looking at the reaction just on social media, mostly Facebook, because that's usually where we find all the Toledo fans. All the reactions are positive, and if there was anyone with a negative reaction to this, I'd be like, why?
There was
zero sense.
There was some, only because of the whole 6-7 thing in the world.
All right, we're not getting into that on this show. I refuse to acknowledge that.
I'm just saying, like,
isn't that Llewellyn's number?
Yeah, it might be. No, I don't think
pretty sure
so.
It is.
Is it? So he's gonna have to switch numbers. I don't pull it up.
No, his is 62.
Okay, I didn't think it was. Yeah, that was the only negative thing I seen, which I thought was hilarious.
I mean, it is hilarious, and he's not going to change it now. Like. It'd be the most popular jersey in all the youth fans. Like, they're going to love it.
I know.
No, it's good to see Louis back. We'll move on to the other pieces of news, though. Another big one. We talked a lot about this on our Griffins episode. If you missed that, go ahead and check that out. It's already been posted. But Carter Gylander reassigned to Toledo. We've tried to understand the inner workings of this. Travis hates it. I think I understand it. We'll eventually maybe find out one of these days, but we don't know why. And Jacob Truscott recalled by Grand Rapids, obviously with Eric Gustafson going up to Detroit with Simon Edvinson's injury. You have Truscott going back to GR to fill that gap there. Happy to have him back in GR. I know you guys have enjoyed your time with him. We don't know if he'll be back there or how that's all going to work, but at least the time that you guys had him, he played well for you.
Yeah, it was fun to watch him for a few games, and now he gets to go back and have another opportunity with the Griffins. Be interesting to see how they deploy him. How much does he play, right? Like, obviously with Gus going up, you're expecting him to step into the lineup, but we'll see, I suppose. Yeah, he was a treat to watch. Really nice guy to talk to too.
Yeah, he's a good kid. On top of that, you have Pelosic and Llewellyn moved to the 14-day IR, and Liam Solaire moved to the 3-day IR. And to remind everyone, Travis, correct me if I'm wrong, once they're on that IR, they cannot come off of it earlier than those day limits, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. The 3-day is basically like, it's almost kind of like an extra reserve spot to a point. But why they don't just make it the extra active spot, not IR spot. But yeah, the 14 days, you don't get them back for at least 14 days, or I think Pat said 2 weekends. So
Gotcha.
you're not going to see them till middle of December at least, which is interesting, right? And then obviously, I forgot to put a piece in here, Sawyer back.
Oh, yeah,
From
Sawyer's back too.
Providence. So, it's
Oh.
just like, that's on me. I forgot to put that in the note. Well, I'm assuming that almost everybody that was reassigned is going to play. Like,
Yeah, which is, I mean, again, you're talking some big names on this team coming back here to be able to play. That's a big deal.
it is. It's going to make some, like, if we get Moyle back too, you got to figure this. There's going to be some very difficult decisions as to who's playing and who's not playing. If they get everybody back, there's going to be so much additional depth that all of a sudden is now here, right? And you talk about some of the guys that
Yeah.
are playing well now, then you gotta, guys are gonna have to come out. I'm glad I don't have Pat's job.
Yeah, right. I think we say that every single season, honestly. It's, with Lombardi's injury in Grand Rapids and the unknown around that, it's assuming that we'll probably have Moyle at least for another week, I would say. But who knows if it's longer than that. And I mean, honestly, it's been a treat having him up here. He fits right into this lineup and steps into his role exactly as you would expect in Grand Rapids. Coach seems to be very happy with his play, and he just adds that speed element to the Griffins' fourth line that they don't really have down there if he's not in that lineup. Mantle is fast, but when he's moving, he can't really stop. He's not as agile, I should say, as Nolan Moyle is. Once you get the bowling ball rolling, he's pretty tough to stop. But Seager's not a speed demon either by any means. So it's really nice to have Moyle kind of back there to create a little more chaos in that line. That line's actually produced a little more since Moyle spent some time with them. So maybe Moyle's going to earn that spot up here long term. Who knows?
Maybe. Be good for him.
That is all the roster news and updates that we have, though. It seems like every week with Toledo, we're talking roster news and updates and transactions at this point, which is really weird that it's not at the AHL level when you look at the Griffins roster and the veterans and all that stuff. Like, you kind of would expect more movement going into the season up here, but hey, we'll take it with the pieces we got back in Toledo. On top of that, Travis, you got the Hall of Fame 2025 class was fully announced.
Yeah, 5 very good players going into the class. Gordy Cowan, Mercury's and Blades, all-time Mercury's points leader, 404 points in 304 regular season games.
Jeez.
Yeah, Mike Greeter from the Gold Diggers, 1980 to 82, and then another stint from 83 to 85. 33 goals, 82 assists, 115 points in 250 games, 186 penalty minutes. It kind of tells you about that era. Captain of the Turner Cup championship team in 81-82. This next one's crazy. Andrew Williamson, Toledo Storm, 97 to 2000. 190 goals, 138 assists, 128 points in 250 games.
Good Lord.
Including the 99-2000 season where he had 63 games played and 63 goals with 102 points.
I mean, a lot of people talk about a point per game player, but a goal per game player? Come on. That's ridiculous.
And he figured in on 48% of the Toledo Storm goals that year, which is just unheard of.
Insane.
Yeah, crazy stuff. And then obviously 2 Walleye guys going in. Evan Rankin, he played with the team from 2009 to 2012, and then 2015 to 2017. 238 games played, 214 points, 111 goals. Guy was like electric in the shootout. Can't tell you how many times he made the Sports Center top 10, like multiple times. He had some very gross shootout goals, like rank up there with Hawk gross shootout goals.
Impressive.
So, yeah, he was a really good player, big time goal scorer. Kind of towards the beginning of the Toledo Walleye era. And then obviously a guy we just had on, Shane Birchbeck. Listen, I mean, this guy pretty much, if Hawk doesn't lead it in a statistical category for all time, pretty much holds it.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah. Games played, 376, 116 goals, 227 assists, or 93 points. He was so good.
So good.
And a smaller guy, or like not massive, but just found a way to produce, was really good at it. it's so weird and crazy that his last game was played in front of no fans. It almost doesn't seem right. But he is the definition of a Hall of Famer for Toledo. For the Walleye, like you think of Toledo Walleye, he's one of the first guys that comes to mind.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I've joked pretty much every season with Hawknow at this point if he's ever going to take that assist record away from him, and he's pretty much settled on. There's probably no chance he gets it. That record is insane. And
68 in 1 year.
68 assists in a season is insane, but the whole class itself this year, absolutely insane stats behind it, and just showing the legacy of Toledo hockey all the way back to the Mercuries there, just showing how much talent's come through Toledo. It's absolutely insane to look at, especially from my perspective where, just meeting you and starting to cover the Walleye and just learning about the Storm, there's still so much I don't know.
Yeah, it's very cool that they have this like Hockey Hall of Fame in Toledo, right? Like you look at some teams, like I know they've said it in the NHL, like if you don't get your number retired, you still should be honored in some way. And I know some teams do like the Ring of Honor and stuff like that. I think it's cool that Toledo has its own little Hockey Hall of Fame because I mean, if you think back, there's 70 years of hockey to go back through. It's a lot of hockey, right? And it's just a cool piece for these guys to always be remembered because I mean, a lot of people, and myself included, like even 10 years ago, like I never really understood the love for the coast, right? Like, and now like it's kind of become my number one team in following. You learn about the culture that this city has for hockey, the fandom, and it's really a hockey city. So really cool for these guys to come back. And the first one, Gordie Cowan, he hasn't been here since the 60s, and they're flying him out in January. I think they said 92 years old, and he's coming to Toledo for the Hall of Fame ceremony. So that'll be a really cool experience.
That's gonna be wild for him. He's gonna see that arena and be like, holy God.
He's like, where was this in the 60s?
Right? But it is insane when you say 70 years. Like, I talk to people about Toledo all the time now when I'm talking hockey, because how do I not, one, with what we do, but two, just the way that city has embraced the sport. When you talk 70 years of hockey, minor league hockey in one city, like you don't see that. That's not very common. I know there's teams out there that have been around longer in some cities, but we're talking about Toledo, Ohio, man. Like, it's such a hockey town, and I keep telling people this, and they look at me like I'm a psychopath, but you got to experience it. Like, again, if you're a Griffins fan that happens to tune into these episodes every once in a while to see what the Walleye are doing, and you haven't been to a game, just go. Just do it. It's the best ticket in hockey, honestly.
Yeah, I would love to see, like, if they could rank like value of entertainment for dollar at face value of a ticket. There can't be a better value out there for what you pay for a ticket. Like, it's absurd.
But thinking of this before we move into the games here, I saw a stat the other day. Jacksonville in the ECHL is outpacing every American League team in attendance right now, in average attendance.
Yeah, it's funny. Me and Mark were talking about this. I was going to save this for the standings update, but you beat me to it. Over 11,000 they're averaging per game down there. Cool for them.
That's insane. Insane. All right. Enough jibber jabber. Let's jump into the games here. Like I said in the beginning, we've got two to talk about against the same opponent, a different opponent coming to town. It's kind of nice to be talking about a different team that's not in the division on this show too this week.
Wichita. We've seen them once. I think it was once last year we had them. And
yeah.
They're a fun team.
You were all excited about their jerseys.
Dude, they're the OG Lightning jerseys. I don't know what you want. Like, they're awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty cool look. I'll give them that.
The only thing that's different is the stripe on the bottom. It's fun to see the out of division matchups, right? You don't see it a lot, maybe in total 10 games a year out of 70. So it's a lot of repeat, wash and repeat, rinse and repeat, however you want to phrase it, of seeing the divisional teams. So it is fun when you get a back-to-back or a few games against other teams. And for Wichita, they were fun to watch. They got some guys with size. They were a unique team in their own way, right? Affiliated with the Sharks. But yeah, the first game was crazy. The Nick Andrews, man, what a night. I mean, he had a great night. The first goal, I mean, great patience. I believe it was Craggs, had the puck, made the button hook, and finds Andrews coming in late, makes a great shot. He got off to a great start in the game. The fast starts this shot. Yeah, just over the pad, far side. That's a well placed shot, especially from a defenseman. And then the assist he had on Jordan Ernst's goal from behind the net to hit Ernst at the blue line off the boards like that, and then Ernst just uses his speed, goes to the backhand. So yeah,
we got to talk about Jordan Ernst here more than that for a second. I know we're going to talk about him a little more later, but dude, this guy,
yeah,
he has found it so far this season. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and he was a guy that coming out of the SPHL, you're like, okay, is it going to translate, right? And it's starting to translate. It seems like he's scoring every game lately. And another thing with him too is he finds ways to get behind the defense. It's like every game in the last 2 weeks, I feel like he's had a partial or a full breakaway.
Yeah, it really does seem like that. It's like the teams come in and the scouting report's like, hey, watch that Hawk guy, and they forget to tell him about anybody else. And Ernst just goes, whoop, I'm here, and scores.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He's really good at finding open ice, and I think that's one thing. Even in the game Saturday, which we'll talk about, he goes to the hard areas. He kind of got a little snarl to him. He plays kind of a little snarly on the edge a little bit, like not on the edge, but maybe in your face a little bit. Not like running guys over, but just a pain.
Right. You know what his play style kind of reminds me of?
Who's that?
Doucette.
Yeah, I can see that.
Doucette was down there.
Yeah, just heavy in the corners, like hounding pucks. Yeah. Hey, he's got really good skill too. I really like this guy. I think that line has really, I know we've talked about that line a couple times, has really kind of flourished lately. That second line with him and Smirnoff and whoever's been on it lately, it's been a kind of a revolving door with call-ups and stuff like that. But yeah, he's come in and he's found his groove, and happy for him. He's a really nice guy. He always says hello. He gives you the hockey answers, which is always kind of fun. You know, like some guys will kind of go and when you're talking to him in post game, and he's the very hockey answer.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's pretty funny, honestly. The other 2 goals in the game, both empty net goals. So the Walleye walk away with this with a 4-1 win. And this is Liam Solaire's home debut, essentially, for the Walleye here. How'd he look?
Looks good. I mean, I don't know if it's just the way his angle was on his it went off the side of his skate and directed in from the corner. Outside of that, though, he was phenomenal. Plays the puck really well. Like, I mean, superbly well. Like, he is not scared to come out and play the puck. Could be a guy coming right towards him, he's going to go out and play the puck. Which,
oh, jeez.
I mean, he's really
good. Gives us all a heart attack, but if he's good at it, hey.
He's really good at getting rid of it. And even, like, backhand, forehand, he's really good with playing the puck. And I think it was, when I talked to him in postgame, it was something that his dad was like, hey, learn to do this because it's a very key element now. So that was a very unique thing with him. It's cool to see his setup in person. His gear
Just going to ask, how did it look in person?
It's
Seeing
good.
Walleye colored goalie gear at home finally.
It's good. He was excited. He said to implement the baby blue. He loved that element. So that was a fun piece for him. So I didn't get to ask him if he has a mask coming. Didn't get to ask that question. I know as the gear nerd, I was kind of disappointed in myself.
I'm disappointed in you.
I know. I'll ask him if I see him again this weekend.
We have you down there for reasons, Travis.
I know.
To know if Liam's getting a goalie mask. That's the reason you're on this show. The only one. I promise.
Yeah. No. I honestly though, like the numbers on the jerseys, they had like a metallic look. The jerseys were cool.
The jerseys looked sick.
They were really cool. And it was a raffle. It wasn't like an auction. So you went and bought raffle tickets, and then it was like a wheel, and they pulled one ticket for every jersey. So it wasn't
it's
an
the most
auction.
affordable Walleye jersey I've ever seen then, depending on how many tickets you bought.
Yeah, I mean, if you bought one, I don't know how much the ticket was. I didn't buy one because I had bought a replica one. Yeah, just it was a cool night, cool theme night.
Yeah, it's a super cool theme night. The jerseys, like you said, they're so ugly, they're beautiful.
Yeah, they really are.
The whole kit on the ice, like it looked great. I loved it.
It did. They were very cool. Be interesting to see if anybody were to sell one online, how much they asked for one of those.
I'm curious with that, but then also how much the gravy boats are going for, because I mean that's a hot giveaway for any hockey team right now. For ever since the Red Wings came out with their first one, and I can imagine that there'll be a lot of walleye gravy boats on the Thanksgiving table around Toledo, Ohio. But I'm sure they're going on eBay for a couple bucks here too.
I seen one listed on Facebook, I think for 150 already.
Caption was, "I know what I got."
I don't know if it was that, but I got sent the link, and I was like, yeah, I got one.
Yeah, no, it's a cool theme night, man. I love it, and I want to see more of it.
I will say they're a lot smaller in person than I thought they would be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think the Red Wings ones were too, honestly.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to maybe be as small as it was, but still, I mean, it was a very cool thing. Oh, also, there are now 2 fan bonies that light up and go around the place.
You guys have 2, and we can't even get one?
There's 2 now.
Grand Rapids,
There was a spike one and a Catrick one now.
The Griffins need to get on this. Like,
Yeah.
You saw that night you left Grand Rapids, and I looked around, I was like, Jesus, how many Zambonis do we have now?
There's
like,
a lot.
Come on, convert one. Just one of them. Oh, good Lord. No, a cool theme night overall, a great win for the team, and, it's the things we love to see around here. We like to see good wins. We like to see good theme nights. Another sold-out crowd, it looks like, as well. So keeping the streak alive, as far as I know.
Yeah, streak's still going.
It's insane.
Despite Kids Day games.
That's what makes it really insane. Yeah. Moving on from that, we're going to head to a quick ad break. When we come back, we're going to recap Game 2 on Saturday night, give you a quick standings update, and our Toledo Walleye 3 stars of the week.
Hockey is back, and this season, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, brings you all the speed, skill, and nonstop action you love. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get paid out $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 4673. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-97777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of pay per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved.
And welcome back. All right, let's get into Game 2, Saturday's game, which was the Walleye Fight Cancer Night, which love everything they did leading up to that. The interviews one-on-one with some of the guys, too, with Hawk and Reds, and I don't remember who was the last one that I saw.
I think Nolan.
No, yes, it was Nolan. Great interviews. Fantastic, honestly. And just everything they do with that night. It's so good. And, dude, like you were right, the ribbon on the jersey, like, that looks so good.
If it's on the front, I'm telling you, it'd be a home run.
I know, but that, like, turning that stripe into that, I'm like, that's sick. So
it was nice. This one was good.
Yeah, very good. But the Walleye, unfortunately, lose this game in a shootout. So they take away a point, so 3 points on the weekend. I'll have to get Travis's update on the 7-game set after we talk about the game here. But at the same time, look, another great start for the team.
Yeah, the starts have been great this year. Some of it, I think you've seen today, is closing games out at times. There's not times, I mean, they've closed out a lot of the games, but there's just moments that with so many young guys, right, they're gonna have some learning experiences. I thought they played good for about 30 minutes of this game. It seemed like right after Wichita made it 3-2, we just kind of coasted a little too much for my likings. Too many penalties. 8 penalties. Despite going 8 for 8, that's 16 minutes on the board. That's almost the whole period of killing penalties.
Can we talk about 8 penalty kills and you killed off all 8? Like, yes, we lost, but penalty kill. Hats off to you. Great freaking job. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's great that they killed 8, but that's still way too many. And everybody I talked to is kind of like, yeah, that's way too many penalties. Like, we can't.
Oh, yeah, 1,000% way too many.
But that probably kept it, being 8 for 8 probably could have easily been, 6-3, 7-3 when you take 8 penalties in a night. So
this game could have gotten ugly.
Yeah, credit to the penalty kill for keeping them in the game, I guess you could say. Look, it was very, very nice to see them get out to the big start, right? Loved the play by Roy made the first goal happen. He was hard on a forecheck, caused a turnover, and Tanner Kelly made a great shot. Loved that. Those two have, for the most part, been pretty good, right? Kelly, I really like Kelly. I like what he can provide. Roy's had some positives. They've both had some maybe learning moments, but that's kind of expected of a young player, right? Like you're going to have your highs and your lows and your learning experiences. So I think as a whole, they've been a net positive for the most part. They're playing with Craggs. Maybe as those two develop into, you know, a little bit more experience, that line will start to chip in a little more offense. It's probably something you're going to want to see as they continue to grow, right? But they've kept those three together, so I think that's a group they do like together, is Craggs with those two. Ernst again scored in this game. Great play.
All he does is score.
Yeah, he did a great job of finding open ice. But the one guy we got to give flowers to is Keenan. I think this was his best weekend of the year. Not just because he got a goal and assist. Not just because of goal and assist. I thought he looked, I don't even know if like just healthy, confident, refreshed. Like I don't know. This was his most like eye-popping weekend. He's had a pretty solid year playing on the fourth line. He's been a key part of the penalty kill, right? Very key element to that. Obviously, he was injury riddled last year, so seemed like all year he was battling injuries. So this year he's off to a healthy start, playing maybe a little different role than what he has 2 years ago, last year to points. So, you know, there's going to be some adjustments for him. And like we've seen him on the fourth line, we've seen him on a third line. This game he played on the second line. So he's kind of become that guy that is plug and play where they need him to go. And I think that's just kind of a role that he's accepted. He's great on the penalty kill, but all in all, I thought this was his best weekend. The Hawk goal was awesome. That was just vintage Hawk. He was ready for it as soon as Dickinson crossed the blue line. I think Hawk was already turned sideways.
Yeah, it looked like it. He was just ready and blast it. Like, what can you expect? It's a Hawk 1T from the circle.
Yeah, from his office, right? Like
it is his office.
Like I've said, it's weird because when they go on the power play, he plays right point, and you see him do that from the left offside circle. It's like, why don't we put him there sometimes, just as like a. It works so well for Washington.
That limits him to just shooting there. And
Ovechkin's done it for 20 years.
Yeah, but he can also shoot it and find open net from anywhere on the ice. So you might as well not limit him, right?
No, yeah, I definitely understand that. That's a very fair point. But you just see that and you're like, man, I'd love to see that a couple more times, like just on the power play, him just stand there and rip one. But sometimes they do it. But yeah, like I said, after that second goal, it just felt like they didn't have it. Like they couldn't get settled in. They were taking too many penalties and came back to bite them. I thought if we could get through overtime, especially because we took the 2 penalties in overtime, I thought if we could get to the shootout, like we would be good. The one goal they got to extend the shootout, like the dude just had such a long reach. Poor Nolan, he did all he could. It was funny. Hawk made the normal move he does, and he just didn't elevate it enough. And I said out loud, I'm like, I want to see him just hard fake like that, and then just slowly take it to the backhand and watch that goalie just sit there like, oh no, he went the other way. I'm waiting for him to pull it out one day. But yeah, shootouts are all right, I guess. They're not my favorite.
I know they're not your favorite.
They're cool. They are cool. It's fun because I guess like it got fans into the games when they implemented them. It's better than a tie, but
anything's better than a tie. We don't tie here.
Yeah, no ties in hockey. But
no.
I just hate losing in a shootout. It's like whatever.
Yeah, it does always like suck to lose in a shootout. Like, but you also got to feel like they might have closed this out in overtime if they weren't killing penalties for the majority of overtime. Like, you can't take 2 in OT. And I'm just like, I'm looking at the penalties and what was called and all that. I'm just like, some of these are stupid, guys. Like the delay of game on Andrews and OT, the too many men.
That I think the puck went on edge right as he went to clear it. So I couldn't tell from where I was at. I don't think, obviously on the monitor, it definitely was not intentional. It was just one of those like, dang it. But
yeah, but too many men penalty too in the game. Like you can't. Yeah. You can't take those, but hey,
they'll sort
take
it
3
out.
Points out of the weekend. Yep. We don't dwell on that. That's a good weekend. That's a solid business trip at home, right? Like you're just doing the thing. So What's that bring their 7-game segment to, Travis?
So technically they won this segment. That got them to 10 right there. So that gets them to 10 with the game Wednesday night to basically kind of, they're at 10. They got 8 in the first. So if they can get 12 out of this one, they're back to square because they want to get 10 in every segment. So they had 8 in the first one. If they can win Wednesday, they get 12 in this segment, and that gets you back to a level 20 through the first 2. So they're kind of right where they need to be as far as wanting to do their segments and getting 10 points in every segment. So
Yep,
good.
they'll
good
get a nice
bounce back.
dinner, and we won't get an invite. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Outside of that, before we move on to the 3 stars, is any other final thoughts from this weekend?
No, not really. Just, continue to tweak, right? Now we got Louis coming into the mix. So it's like, you think they were starting to get a rotation of who's with who, and you get a couple more guys thrown back into the mix. So I guess it never ends, right? The ever-changing hockey league, as Mark told me.
It is the ever-changing hockey league, and at least when you look at like special team side of things, you get Louis back, who's great on the power play. I mean, he had 8 power play goals last season, so that can only help that in that department.
I think the one thing that might help with that is they can take a center off of the first unit. I think it was either 3 centers on the first power play unit lately, so they can move an extra center to the second unit potentially. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. So
very interesting. Well, let's move on to our 3 stars of the week. Obviously, it's only 2 games, so 3 stars of the 2 games. Who was your 3rd star?
Nick Andrews. I thought even Friday's performance alone gets him a star.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. But even his performance Saturday was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Second star.
Yeah, Keenan. Like I said, I think it was his best weekend. I know the goal he's got an empty net, it still counts. The pass was great. And just his ability, like I said, night before he's playing on the 4th line. Next game he's playing on the 2nd line. So hey, sometimes you got to adjust your role to being the universal tool that can play wherever is needed, right? And he did that last year too. So I think that's just something that he's adjusting to. And I thought, like I said, it was his best weekend of the year.
Then who was your 1st star of the week?
It's got to be Ernst.
Oh, yeah.
Has to be Ernst. Goals in back-to-back games.
Yeah, not a shocker there at all that Jordan Ernst is our 1st star of the week. So I have no disagreement with any of the 3, more or less, because I didn't get to watch either of these games. So I'm operating off of stats in your word. So I will trust you. Fans, if you disagree, let us know in the comments who you think the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd star of the week should have been for the Toledo Walleye. Well, wrapping up the games, let's give you a quick standings update around the ECHL. Obviously, we'll start with the Central Division that the Walleye play in here. Fort Wayne leading the division still at 20 points. The Walleye 2 points behind them, 1 game in hand. But hey, Fort Wayne finally played a home game.
Yeah.
That's
they
still
did.
Insane to me that it took till November 21st for them to play their first home game of the season. Like, what a run they've been on the road. That's insane.
It's impressive,
and they
man.
lose one of the games at home this weekend, so maybe they're a road team. Who knows?
Lose 2-1, and I said last night when we got done recording, 55 shots in that game.
Insane. Yeah, Wichita went in there and won, letting up 55 shots.
Good road trip for them.
Yeah, honestly, great road trip for them. So.
Come to the Central, take on the top 2 teams, and you walk away with 3 of 6 points, or 4 of 6 points.
Pretty good business trip.
Yeah, it is.
Behind Toledo in the division, you got Indy and Cincy tied with 16 points apiece for 3rd and 4th place there. Bloomington in 5th, 15 points, so 1 point behind the other 2 teams I just mentioned. Iowa in 6th, and Kalamazoo down there in 7th, 3 and 7 in their last 10. Definitely struggling. I think the goalie carousel is still moving around down there. I saw a Abbotsford goaltender called up today. Oh,
poor guys.
Yeah, things are, it's a struggle there. You kind of, that's one of those things you kind of feel bad because it's completely out of their control.
Mm-hmm.
Head over to the Mountain Division. Tahoe still leading that one, but tied for that top spot with Idaho, both at 21 points apiece there. Kansas City in 3rd, Utah in 4th. Wichita moves up to 5th after their successful road trip. Tulsa in 6th. Rapid City in 7th, and Allen in 8th. Not a lot of changes over there, but you see Wichita move up just a little bit. In the South Division, you got South Carolina leading that division at 20 points, with Florida right behind them at 19, Atlanta behind Florida at 18, then Jacksonville, Savannah, Greenville, and Orlando make up the rest of that division there. Dude, Orlando. Still have only won one game.
Feel bad for them, man. They are struggling.
12 games played, 1 win, 11 losses, no overtime, no shootout losses. They got 2 points on the season with a .083 winning percentage. 29 goals scored, 51 against.
Ooh, that's rough. That's
painful.
It is, and after I believe they're the ones that knocked out South Carolina last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show
down there.
how quickly it can turn, right?
Yeah. In the North Division, Wheeling still leading the whole darn thing. They're still leading the whole league. They have the top dogs right now at 22 points in that division, with Reading, as someone commented and pointed out that I've been saying reading. It is Reading as far as they were concerned. It's Reading, reading. I don't know, but thanks for pointing it out. I'll get a clarification one of these days when I have time.
Reading.
Well, see, that's what I get for public schools. Anyways, Reading in second, Maine in third, Trois-Rivières in fourth, Adirondack in fifth, Greensboro in sixth, Worcester, the Railers in seventh, and Norfolk in eighth down there. Yeah, dude, no one in the league right now is struggling more than Orlando, which when you look at what like Kalamazoo's going through, granted they're right in front of them in the league standings, but like, dude, it's ugly. You got Allen, Kalamazoo, and Orlando making up the bottom 3 teams in the league, and the top 3 teams in the league being Wheeling, Tahoe, and Idaho. So that's how the ECHL is shaken up right now. Again, it's too early in this league to be standings watching, but it is important to note that the Central continues to stay pretty tight in the top 4 to 5 spots.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like that most of the year.
I would assume so, yeah. I mean, shoot, you can even say 6th. I mean, you got 13 points for Iowa and the top team, Fort Wayne, at 20 points. So not a ton of separation there. Not at all. Granted, Iowa still played the most teams out of anyone in the division at 16 games.
I think Toledo, by points percentage, is actually 3rd in the league. If you were to filter it by league standings with point percentage, because they've played less than some teams.
They are 4th in the league.
4th?
You got, if you go by points percentage, it's Wheeling, Fort Wayne, Atlanta, Toledo. They're actually, I should say tied. They got the same winning percentage as Atlanta. So yeah, that's how the standings shake up. Travis, what games we got upcoming for the Walleye this week?
Well, we got a 4 and 5 busy weekend for the boys with a lot of travel and a holiday in there. So Wednesday night in Cincinnati, Friday night, the number 1 team in the league, Wheeling, comes to town. So that's going to be a early test, right? Big test. They passed the first one with Fort Wayne. How will they match up against Wheeling before a back-to-back? Well, I shouldn't even say back-to-back. It's a 3 and 3. They go to Indy Saturday, and then they finish this weekend in Fort Wayne. So two really tough matchups. And honestly, with how tight the games have been with Cincinnati, that's tough. And Indy was no slouch when they played them the first games. There's no easy games in this division. And then
Can I tell you how mad I am that the Griffins play Sunday?
Why?
I had an offer to go to both the Indy and Fort Wayne game today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because one of my coworkers lives there.
Oh, that's a bummer.
And was like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Come down. We'll do both games. I'm like, son of a... God, that would have been sweet. But
Have you been to Fort Wayne?
I've not been to any other ECHL barn other than Toledo and Kalamazoo.
I haven't been to the new Indy building. I've heard it's nice.
I have too.
Fort Wayne is an older building, but man, the bowl is huge. It's massive.
Yeah, I've seen it on TV in the pictures. It looks massive.
I don't know how you can see it on TV. They just zoom around and follow the puck the entire time.
the Fort Wayne cameraman gets dragged all over social media for his
when you got to
extensive detail the camera work.
Dude, when you got to pop a Dramamine to watch the game, I don't know what else you expect, right? Like get motion sickness watching the game. I remember I was at my dad's, I think it was last Christmas, and they were playing, and we were down there for Christmas, and he's like, dude, this isn't even watchable. I was like, yeah, I know.
Someone's got to tell him, hey man, if you zoom out and just watch the zone they're in, you're not going to miss anything. You don't need to follow the puck every move it makes.
I know, it's crazy.
Oh God, I feel like he just does it now at this point just to mess with everyone.
He probably does.
Oh God. Well, with that, we'll wrap this episode up. It's a quick one today for us as we get ready to do some interviews for some upcoming episodes here. So wrapping things up, we got to thank our sponsors of the show, DraftKings and Everything Hockey Clothing Company. When you're betting with DraftKings, use code THPN. And when you're shopping at everythinghockey.com, use code WEST, so a few bucks off your order. And it also directly supports the show. And you can also support us by heading over to patreon.com/HockeytownWest podcast to join these lovely folks that already support us. And those are Darren Schwartz, Peter Grell, Joe Schroeder, Bryson DeChambeau is elite, Tyler Ingalls, John in Florida, Elaine Grace, Griffin not from GR, Derek Sleazer, Lori, Alan, and Michael Alsante. Thank you guys all for the love and support. We appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, you can head over to patreon.com/HockeytownWest podcast to check out the tiers that we offer there. You get unedited episodes, bonus content. If I can post bonus locker room content from Grand Rapids, I try to as well. And those can usually be pretty funny as long as I can post them. But outside of that, nothing else to add this week. Everybody have a fantastic week and a happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys from us as well. Hopefully you guys all eat a ton of good food, enjoy time with family, just be safe traveling around out there because it looks like the weather is going to get kind of interesting in this area over the Thanksgiving holiday. So be safe out there. Until we talk again, everyone, as always, go Griffins and go Walleye, and we'll talk to y'all again soon.
Thank you for tuning in to the Hockeytown West podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at HockeytownWPod and your hosts, Nick at GR Hockey Guy, Brandon at Brandon GR Hockey, and Travis at Trav in T-Town.